Emma had always been cautious with dating, having heard all the horror stories and read flags friends shared about online dating. She was reluctant to even download an app, but life had a way of nudging you when you least expected it. After another lonely Friday night spent with Netflix, she finally gave in, signing up for a popular dating app her friends swore by. She created a simple profile, choosing a few photos of herself at a recent beach trip, laughing with friends. Her smile genuine and carefree. Her bio was just a line: adventurous, book-loving coffee addict. Let's see what happens. It wasn't long before her profile was flooded with likes and messages, but she was unimpressed by most of them. Flirty one-liners, overeager compliments, and a slew of generic messages. Just when she was about to close the app, a message caught her eye. "Hi Emma, you seem genuine, and I think we might have a lot in common. Ever up for a bookstore date?" Intrigued, she tapped on his profile. His name was Alex, and he looked, well, perfect. Short, dark hair, warm brown eyes, a slight scruff on his face, and a sincere smile. He was pictured in a few scenic locations, on a hike, at a library, and in a cozy-looking cafe. He seemed exactly like the kind of guy she'd been hoping to meet. Their conversations flowed naturally. He was witty and shared her love for adventure. Over the next 2 weeks, they exchanged stories about travel, books, and their lives. He even told her about his volunteer work at a local shelter. To Emma, Alex was almost too good to be true. Finally, Alex suggested they meet in person. "How about that bookstore date?" he asked. Emma agreed, feeling butterflies in her stomach as she wondered if he could be the one. They met on a Saturday afternoon at a quaint bookstore. Tucked away in the heart of the city, Emma had put on her favorite green sweater and a pair of jeans, simple yet comfortable. When she saw him waiting for her outside the bookstore, she couldn't help but smile. He looked even better in person, and there was a warm, almost magnetic energy about him. They spent hours browsing through shelves, exchanging book recommendations, and laughing about quirky book titles. Alex knew just the right things to say, and seemed genuinely interested in everything she shared. Afterward, they grabbed coffee at a nearby cafe, and Emma found herself opening up to him more than she had with anyone in a long time. As they walked back to her car, Alex took her hand and asked, "How about dinner next weekend?" Emma's heart skipped a beat, and she nodded, feeling her cheeks warm. Over the next few weeks, their dates became a regular thing. They explored new restaurants, went on hikes, and even took a spontaneous day trip to the mountains. Everything felt like a dream. Alex was attentive, thoughtful, and always seemed to know exactly what she needed. Her friends teased her, calling him Mr. Perfect. But there was something that she couldn't quite put her finger on. A strange sense of unease would creep in every so often, but she brushed it off as paranoia. After all, Alex was the nicest guy she'd ever met. One night, while they were having dinner at his place, Emma noticed something odd. Alex excused himself to the restroom, and she sat alone at the table, her eyes wandering around his apartment. It was meticulously clean, almost too perfect. Every book was aligned, every item in its place. There was an unsettling sterility about it, like a staged room. Her eyes fell on a small picture frame on his desk. It was a photo of Alex with a woman she didn't recognize, smiling and holding hands. Emma felt a pang of jealousy and curiosity. She quickly glanced at the photo, noticing an inscription at the bottom. "Forever yours, Amelia." When Alex returned, she casually asked, "So, who's Amelia?" She tried to keep her tone light, but Alex's face changed immediately. He forced a smile and shrugged, saying, "Oh, just an old friend." But Emma didn't miss the flicker of something else in his eyes. Anger, maybe, discomfort. she decided to let it go. But as the weeks passed, the feeling of unease grew stronger. Emma couldn't shake the feeling that Alex wasn't telling her everything. She remembered the photo of Amelia and wondered why he had never mentioned her before. One evening, curiosity got the better of her. She searched for Amelia and Alex online, but nothing came up. No Facebook, no Instagram, nothing. The more she searched, the more frustrated she became. Her instincts were telling her something was wrong. Then, one night, she found an article buried deep within a local news website. The headline sent chills down her spine. Local woman, Amelia Marks, reported missing. Last seen with boyfriend, Alex Reed. Emma's heart raced as she read through the article. Amelia had gone missing over a year ago. Her friends had last seen her at a cafe, where she was having a heated argument with her boyfriend, Alex. He had claimed she left town for a fresh start, but her family insisted that wasn't true. Amelia had simply vanished, and Alex was the last person known to be with her. Emma's mind spun with horror. Could it be the same Alex? But how? The man she knew was kind, gentle, and loving. It didn't make sense. The next time they met, Emma felt tense, trying to hide her fear. She decided to confront him carefully, hoping it was all a misunderstanding. Alex, I saw a picture of you and a girl named Amelia. I looked her up and found some troubling things. Do you know what happened to her? Alex froze, his face pulling. He forced a smile and said, Emma, that was a long time ago. We broke up and she moved away. That's all there is to it. But there was a coldness in his eyes, something she had never seen before. Emma's heart pounded, but she nodded, pretending to believe him. She knew she needed to end things, but she wasn't sure how. Every part of her screamed to get away from him, but she was afraid of what he might do if he suspected she knew the truth. Over the next few days, Emma became increasingly paranoid. She would catch glimpses of Alex watching her from across the street, or find strange messages on her phone. When she tried to confront him about it, he denied everything, his calm demeanor only making her more afraid. One night, she decided enough was enough. She packed a small bag, planning to stay with her friend Rachel for a few days. As she left her apartment, she saw Alex standing by her door, his expression dark. Where are you going, Emma? His voice was calm, but there was an edge to it that sent shivers down her spine. Just visiting a friend, she stammered, trying to hide her fear. He took a step closer, his gaze intense. You know, I thought we had something special, Emma. I thought you were different. Emma backed away, heart racing. I need some space, Alex. Please understand. He smiled, but it was cold and unfeeling. All right, Emma. If that's what you want. He turned and walked away, leaving her alone in the hallway. Emma spent the next few days at Rachel's, jumping at every shadow and fearing Alex would show up at any moment. She confided everything to Rachel, who insisted she go to the police. But when Emma tried, they said there wasn't enough evidence to file a report. Then, one night, Emma's phone buzzed. It was a message from Alex. You can't run from me, Emma. I'll always find you. Her blood turned cold. She knew she had to leave town, go somewhere he couldn't find her. But as she packed her things, she heard a knock on the door. Rachel went to answer it, and Emma held her breath, terrified of what might happen next. To her horror, it was Alex, standing in the doorway, his eyes filled with a terrifying intensity. He looked at Emma, his voice low and chilling. I told you, Emma. You're mine. The story ends with Emma's scream piercing the night, leaving her fate uncertain, as the perfect match she thought she'd found turned out to be a nightmare. The police later found signs of a struggle, but no trace of Emma, leaving her friends and family devastated and wondering if she, too, had disappeared like Amelia. The end.